Damn it.
I already started it.
You did?
I already started it. Nobody can say late because we started early.
We did. I still show 4:58 here by the atomic clock that I'm syncing off of.
Oh, wow. I guess my computer's accurate, too. It also says 4:58. It just hit 4:59. Does your atomic clock say 4:59?
Yes, it does.
Wow.
It's like both synchronized to some kind of atomic-based clock.
Wow. Well, I got to roll an intro.
Do it. Roll that intro.
It's already going.
Welcome to Tech Talk. We're going to talk about technology this time and probably some cars, but mostly technology. Just kidding, probably more about cars. But you guys like cryptocurrency? We're going to talk about it. You guys like Apple? I don't give a fuck. We're going to talk about it. All right, welcome to Tech Talk.
Wow.
What?
I had to roll the black screen for a little while just to let all that commentary go.
I need to have a little clock here since I can't see it. Like when you say kick it off the intro, I just hit the stopwatch and then I know exactly when to stop.
I have a wedgie. It's 11 seconds long for the intro, and you were about 3 seconds late because I clicked it, and then you did your little thingy-mabobber.
Hey, if you got a couple minutes after the stream tonight, I should show you how to set up the plugin for OBS so that you can stream the entire composited scene as a webcam through Skype to me. That way I can see everything live in real time.
Oh, I still have to update OBS. It's still stuck on full screen and all that stuff, so I haven't updated anything.
All right, start over.
It's still broken. Like it won't pop out of full screen. It's always in full screen. Really strange.
You have the weirdest problems that I've never heard of.
Oh, I fixed it.
What was it? You tried to fix it for a half an hour last week. What was it?
I hit F11.
Oh my god!
I fixed it. It's all good now.
How does somebody so dumb look so pretty? I'll never understand it.
Oh well, this doesn't just happen. Okay, you have to work towards this.
A lot of work, I bet.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Tech Talk number 156. We have done 156 of these shows. Jerry was around for about 135 of them, and wow. 156. There's probably a lot of hours here that could have been spent on more productive tasks, I think.
Almost definitely.
Because they run at least an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. So you figure we've probably got 350 minutes. No, wait. 350 times 60. What is that? Do the maths.
Dude, I don't know how to do here. Let me pull up my calculator. That's why I got one. What am I doing here?
I don't know.
60?
I forgot what I was going to say. 350.
Wait, okay, hold on. 156 episodes.
Oh,
say 156 episodes times 2 hours an episode.
350 hours. Okay. Whatever.
312.
Okay.
That's a lot of hours. Divided by 24. Hold on. Let's see how many days that is. So you literally 13 days.
Yeah. No.
Of unstopped, just wasted time. You've wasted 13 days of your life.
There's better things that we could have done.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that.
So, guys, we have got actually some topics today that we're going to talk about. We, of course, are going to dabble in some car talk like we always like to do. For the most part, Tech Talk is just where we hang out weekly and just talk with you guys and talk with each other. And tech sort of takes a back seat, even though it's in the name. It's sort of an oxymoron. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tweet out this stream real quick, Jerry. If you want to go ahead and kick it off with one of your topics there.
I'm doing the same. All right. Well, so I just tweeted out mine because I was way ahead of you on that. We're going to talk about Bitcoins because those Bitcoins, otherwise known as Bitcoins.
Bitcoin.
The Bitcoins are tanking. Everybody's doing their same thing that they do about every month or two when Bitcoin tanks. They're like, oh my God, cryptocurrency's over. Oh my God.
Coinpocalypse.
Our GPU prices are finally coming back to normal. They're not.
No.
They're not, guys. Nothing has changed. Nothing has ended. I can tell you exactly why Bitcoin tanked. There's actually two major reasons why Bitcoin and Ethereum and pretty much any other cryptocurrency in existence kind of took a dive. And the main reason is because one of the trustees behind Mt. Gox, remember the big Bitcoin
wallet.
exchange down? The wallet,
yeah.
basically. Well, they call them exchanges, but technically you're right. It would be a wallet. They call themselves exchanges, but we're going to talk about why that's actually inaccurate.
I remember that one.
Moving forward, but Mt. Gox was the biggest cryptocurrency wallet in existence back in the day. Anyways, they had some hacking, they had some stuff. Anyways, they fell. Well, one of the trustees of the company still held 400 bitcoins or 4,000 bitcoins? I don't know the exact count.
Could 400 destabilize?
No, it wasn't 400. I think it was 4,000. It was 4 million? Let me pull up my link. I've got a link somewhere here. There we go. Oh, it's $400 million worth of Bitcoin.
Oh, geez.
So 400 million Bitcoin. So it was 35,841 BTC that was exchanged.
Yeah, that's that could definitely destabilize.
Yeah,
especially when its stability is based on its rarity.
Right. And the thing is you got to think about with Bitcoin. Anytime a coin is paid out to a wallet, that wallet can get orphaned. There's a lot of wallets early on from people that mine the majority of the Bitcoins that are just in landfills or crashed hard drives and shit. That's not recoverable. Currency is gone, and that scarcity drives up the cost of Bitcoin. Well, it's not very scarce anymore when 35,841 Bitcoins just flood back into the market that haven't been touched in an eon.
But it still didn't drop nearly as far as like when. Okay, so remember when you first started talking about Bitcoin and stuff? Like $400 was a huge deal. $600, oh my god. $700, oh my god. It's still like $9,000.
It's still 9,000. It's just everybody's worried because at its peak it was at 20. So in 1 month it lost half of its value. But if you look at the trend over time for Bitcoin, this actually isn't even that bad. Like, think about it. There was times when it was 300 and something a coin and it dropped down under $100. That's way more than 50%.
Yeah.
If you look at it percentage wise, right? So anyways, these coins that he sold destabilized it and dropped the currency. It's not a big deal, though, because the currency is self-balancing. Basically, what's going to happen is people are going to start exchanging Ethereum back and forth into the network and start bolstering it back up.
Looked at it. I saw you.
It be like this.
What do you do?
I'm saying it's okay.
It's above the waist. It doesn't count.
My waist is right here.
What do you do?
Like this.
I have a high waist.
You look.
I looked on the way down.
No.
JayzTwoCents media is falling apart, guys. Falling apart.
And the more ridiculous our employees get, the better the videos are.
I know, right? That's how it's like, dude. Nobody wants to watch like shit that's professional.
Oh no, it's professional shenanigans.
That's true. All right, so Jay, what is the second thing that destabilized Bitcoin?
Bitcoin.
You remember?
Bitcoin in itself is destabilized.
Lack of GPUs? No, I'm just kidding.
The second thing that destabilized when?
The SE. Did you read any that? Did you read the link that? Oh, the link I sent you was 404, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, that was the Washington State one.
So, that's right. So what the second thing was, the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, stepped in and said that now all Bitcoin exchanges, that includes like Coinbase and anything like it, has to now register as an exchange because they've been calling themselves an exchange.
The word register scares everybody.
It does. And that's another reason why the currency is going down is people are panicking and selling their Bitcoin because they think that as soon as the SEC steps in and starts regulating cryptocurrency, it's no longer this awesome big decentralized thing that made it cool in the first place, and it's going to die.
Wasn't there another meltdown when China was talking about banning it or whatever? That was more recent.
That one, I don't know what the state of that one is, but I know the latest Asian country that's causing some shenanigans is South Korea now is taxing all the exchanges.
Oh.
Like not only we just want the exchanges to register, which ultimately they'll have to pay taxes and report earnings and all those things, which some of the exchanges are already doing. Like Coinbase already does that. Like Coinbase was already hedging their bets and being like, oh, well, we're running billions of dollars through here. We better report it to the government. They're already putting things in place to stop anti-money laundering and drug buys and stuff like that. Coinbase is doing a lot of stuff to keep the government happy.
Because that's one of the
want all the exchanges doing it.
Which I have to sort of agree with because there's the Bitcoin has really propelled the black market.
Mm-hmm.
Drug sales, even human trafficking, a lot of stuff just has been completely funded through Bitcoin because of its untraceable nature.
Right. And I'm going to actually completely agree with you on that. I think that, this is going to be short term, guys. The drop in Bitcoin, I'm confident it's going to bounce right back. People are just afraid, and when they get afraid, they get out from underneath it, right? Well, they can. But keep in mind,
and real quick, guys, remember, Bitcoin's not the one that's actually causing your GPU problem. It's Ethereum. So
exactly.
Bitcoin can be mined on ASICs.
Ethereum, Ravencoin, is Doge? Is Doge ASIC or not? I'll have to go look.
Is Doge still a thing?
Yeah, there's over 9,000 cryptocurrencies today. Now, most of them are considered shit coins, which means they're not even fractions of a penny worth anything on the exchange. But just keep in mind, there's 9,000 coins out there. What you guys are looking at as far as GPU prices increasing are the coins that are GPU mineable. Mm-hmm. GPU mineable coins are the ones that you want to worry about if you're on the whole mission to get your GPU prices down. Because those are the guys that are going to be buying up the GPUs for the GPU mineable coins. And those coins are designed from the ground up to only be mineable on a GPU. And the reason that they did that is so that the Chinese doesn't just create a huge ASIC market and corner the entire market and end up owning the coin.
But the Chinese also developed the GPUs.
I know, isn't that funny?
So
I know the irony of it all. Well, here's the interesting fact is the ASICs that were created in China, they were selling them for like pennies on the dollar domestically to like their own mines and building their own mines, and then they were selling the ASICs to everybody else.
Hit the brakes.
But
Green Bay in chat says, "Where's your evidence about crime increasing with Bitcoin?" Common sense.
Common sense is the evidence right there. No. If he wants tangible evidence, I can give it to you. It's called Silk Road. They're up to number 7 right now. Silk Road uses only Bitcoin. That is the only thing that they deal in is Bitcoin, and they are an illicit drug trade.
I was going to say they've been directly attributed to opiate increase in opium specifically. So
yeah, anybody with Tor and a Bitcoin can go buy like oxycodone and just get it shipped to their house, or fentanyl or whatever. I mean, it's a big problem. It really is a big problem. The other thing is, if you go on the dark web as we like to call it, otherwise known as Tor, you find all kinds of fucked up shit that you can buy with Bitcoin. You can pay there's actually a hitman exchange where you can pay Bitcoin for somebody to go kill somebody.
Yeah.
So if you want proof, just go do a search on Tor. Go poke around in there. Black helicopters will inevitably circle your house and kill you and your family, but at least you'll get evidence you're looking for.
There you go. Nothing beats firsthand experience.
Yeah, but basically any currency that is not traceable is going to be used for illicit activity. It's just going to be. It's going to be used for money laundering, right? Because the whole idea with money laundering is you take a large centralized piece of trackable currency and you break it up and distribute it to a lot of small parties in exchange for untraceable currency.
Silk Road is run by the governments.
Pretty much. I actually wouldn't. You know what? This is the conspiracy theorist to me, but I would not be the slightest bit surprised if the government isn't directly responsible for at least a couple of the things that are transacting in crypto coin. Like, could you imagine, like, if you were a government and you were trying to find agents and spies in other countries and you wanted to, like, turn a double agent and everything, you wouldn't want anything tracked back to you as you paying them, right?
Well,
so it kind of makes sense for you to use cryptocurrency or some untraceable currency to compensate them that wouldn't raise any red flags.
El Pepito says, no Cranky Jay today? Hey, the show just started. You wait. Shut up. Okay.
Just wait. I'm not used to him being in this kind of a good mood anyways. I was gonna ask him.
Do you know why I've had a Starbucks, I've had 2 Monsters, and another coffee.
Jesus, son. I've only had an Adderall and a Rockstar. I feel like I'm falling behind.
Do you know why I needed all this caffeine? Because I took a muscle relaxer last night, which was still in my system this morning.
Was it a Flexerol?
It was a Flexerol, and I'm really sensitive to Flexerol.
Flexerol's the worst, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I took one last night, too, so I feel your pain.
So my back pain and stuff keeps me up at night. So I took a Flexerol. Of course, I knocked out, and then I woke up this morning, took my daughter to school, came back home, went back to sleep for an hour, woke up, came here, and on the way I drank a coffee, and then during shooting today, drank 2 Monsters, and then drank another coffee right before the show. And I'm still feeling like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer ate all the pet pills, but then he counteracted it with sleeping pills. So I kind of feel like that right now, where like half of me is awake and half of me is asleep. So I'm really kind of in this spiral that I don't really understand. So you know what? My best advice today, guys, is just go with it. Just go with it.
Yeah, just go with it. We both took Flexerol yesterday, and I know exactly what you're talking about. It's about, by my estimate, Flexerol lasts about 18 hours.
Yeah, it really lingers.
It's the longest lasting drug out of anything that I've taken. It is the longest, like, effective drug. You wake up just as relaxed and you feel heavier than you did. Like, you wake up in the same state you basically went to sleep. It's weird.
Yeah. Trying to kill my kidney? Only if I did this every day, then I would be killing my kidneys.
I'm actually surprised you took a Flexerol, because you're usually like, you won't even take Tylenol, dude.
That tells you how obsessed that. Well, see, the thing is, it allows me to be able to actually sleep, and so that's why I had it. But yeah, I'm extremely sensitive to it. So I think if I took Flexerol every day, I'd be kind of screwed.
Yeah, I take it twice a week, and I usually cut the pill in half, which doesn't stop how long it lasts. It just stops how drowsy it makes you during that time. But it's still terrible. Like I would say that the latest I'll take it is like 6 p.m. Because if you take it any time after that, the whole next day you sleep until like 1 or 2 p.m. It's weird. You'll go to sleep and sleep 14 hours and not even realize it.
Someone said take a lax. Could you imagine if if you switch my Flexerol with pills that are laxatives that look the same?
No, you
take it before bed.
The Flexerol loosens up your sphincter, and the other one just has everything coming out like liquid. Oh, God, you're gonna wake up.
Take it before bed. You wake up in a brown stain. Drug talk with JayzTwoCents and Barnacles.
You wake up and there's just like like the crime scene outlines of people, but it's just brown.
Oh, God.
Oh, grody. Oh, you only get that here on Tech Talk, folks.
Is there anything else you want to finish up on your topic there?
So anyways, I guess I'll just end with, don't worry, Bitcoin's going to come back up. Ethereum just follows Bitcoin. The two currencies get exchanged between each other a lot.
How many people in this audience are worried it won't come back up? I'm just saying.
I'm kind of curious. Over in chat, guys, if you think Bitcoin is finally dying and it's going away forever and it's not worth buying or whatever, I don't know.
Remember, guys, Bitcoin is not the one destroying your GPU market.
Yes. Bitcoin has nothing to do with your GPU market. If anything else, Bitcoin is actually helping you guys, because if Bitcoin didn't exist, more people would be mining Ethereum.
But Ethereum wouldn't exist without Bitcoin.
That's true.
They're all
intertwined.
Anyway.
And there's so many crypto coins, guys. That's like if you're interested in cryptocurrency and you don't want to do a mainstream coin, like let's say you just have like a shitty little CPU or something and you want to mine a coin that could potentially be worth millions someday, go pick a random shit coin and just mine the hell out of it because you'll get like 100,000 of them in a week. And even if it goes up to like 2 cents a coin, you've made a tidy profit. So
do you want them to push 1 if they're worried and 2 if they don't give a shit?
No, push 1 if they're not worried.
Oh.
I think. Now I'm confused. I forgot what I said.
Okay, what will we do right now? Push 1 if you are legit worried that it won't come back up. Push 2 if you want it to die. There. So there's that.
Yeah.
So one of my topics, we're going to switch over to Apple here. Another topic that probably be equally as hated by my audience here because we are all...
You actually have an iPhone and I have an iPhone and we're both considered tech guys. So
but I also have an Axon... I also have an Axon or Axion, however you say it, Axion Android phone. But I use it mostly as a logger for my car. And I also have an LG G6 that still has the sticker on it.
Is Axion like a China company or something?
They're actually a pretty good brand. Actually, very solid phones.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I really like it. It's an LTE phone. So
there's a lot of threes in there. In the chat.
Wow. Okay, so Apple, if you guys aren't aware, remember they built a new like headquarters a while back. And it was a super like spaceshipy looking glass building. And it's really pretty and stuff, I guess. Apparently, there's been an influx of 911 calls being called out to One Apple Way or whatever it is. Let me read the article here. One Apple Way. So this is actually via TechCrunch. You guys can find the article up there. It's Apple's glass walls result in 911 calls. So what's essentially happening here is Apple has these glass interior walls, very clean, transparent, curved glass walls. And apparently there's been an issue happening there where people continually run into them, causing facial and bodily injury. So there's actually a transcript here of one of the 911 calls. It's quite hilarious. And a little backstory too. Apparently, workers had been putting up sticky notes on the walls so they could like be aware, like, hey, there's a wall here. Right, like maybe where there's a turn in the hallway or something.
Like a depth perception aid.
Right. So think of like it's like another version of those Carnival Funhouse full of mirrors. So you don't know exactly which one's the real one, right? Kind of a thing, but only it's all glass walls. So
I'm looking at internal pictures right now. Oh my God, yeah. It's all glass.
It's like a clear maze.
Yeah.
So employees were actually putting sticky notes and stuff up on the walls to get your attention, like, hey, there's a wall here. Well, the janitors and the cleaning staff has been ordered to take them down every time they find one because Apple's like, no, that detracts from the interior design of the building. So apparently, this took place on January 2nd. So it's a dispatcher and then the caller. So the dispatcher answers, medical emergency 185, what are you reporting? And the caller says, this is Apple Security reporting a medical injury. Dispatcher says, okay, what's the address of the emergency? Now, trying to get the address is, I think, funnier than the actual reason why they're calling. The caller says, just a moment. And then he comes back and says, you hear a person in the background near the caller. If you could let them know Apple Park Way. So the caller says, Apple Park Way. Dispatcher says, what's the address? Caller says, Apple Park Way, 1 Apple Park Way. Dispatcher, can you repeat that to make sure I have it correct? Caller, 1 Apple Park Way. Dispatcher, where specifically should they go? Caller says, Transit Center 5A. Dispatcher, Transit Center, is that any specific area at Apple? Caller, it's off Tantau Avenue. Caller, is that right at 1 Apple Park Way, though? Caller, it's going to be gate 5A off of Tantau Avenue. Dispatcher, so the address you gave me at 1 Apple Park Way, is that exactly where we're going? Caller, yes. Dispatcher, ... So tell me what exactly happened, or exactly what happened. Caller, we had an individual who ran into a glass wall pane and they hit their head. They have a small cut on their head and they are bleeding. Slightly disoriented. We have on-site security with them now. Dispatcher, are you with the patient now? Caller, no, I am not with the patient. We are trying to have a security unit call in right now so I can connect you over. Dispatcher, how old is the patient? Caller, late 20s. Dispatcher, is the patient male or female? Caller, male. Dispatcher, is he awake? Caller, yes, he is conscious. Dispatcher, is he breathing? Caller, that we do not know. Yes, he's conscious and breathing. I like how they didn't know for a while there. Like they're talking to the guy, right?
Yeah.
Dispatcher, let me go ahead and update the paramedics. When did this happen? Caller, it happened around 5 minutes ago, around 12:05. Dispatcher, is there any serious bleeding? Caller, yes, from the head. Dispatcher, is he completely alert? Caller, yes. Dispatcher, all right, one moment, let me update the paramedics. I'll have some instructions for you Okay, I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Just stay on the line, and we'll tell you what exactly to do next. You can just revert this to your security. Do not move him unless he is in danger, and do not splint any injuries. From now on, not let them have anything to eat or drink. It might make them sick. So they basically are going into a whole, like, how to control the bleeding and stuff. So I imagine that inside Apple must be millennial hell to begin with, right? So, So a lot of these, like, I've got a boo-boo, I need to go see the doctor, right? Apparently this person was running. Now we were kind of discussing this internally, like, how in the heck does this happen? Like, how fast were you going to, like, basically knock yourself stupid by running into the glass wall? Now I have walked into many a glass pane. Shell gas station is notorious for having big sliding clear glass doors right next, or that slide into clear glass walls. And I have walked square into the wall thinking it was the door before. I didn't knock myself stupid. The wall rattled nicely, and I got a bit of a standing ovation from everyone around me. But I never knocked myself down and started bleeding. So Brian and Nick and I and Phil, we were discussing this, and we were thinking, this guy must have been, like, late to a meeting. He's got his face buried in his phone, and he's, like, power walking or running through the building into a glass wall.
Well, looking at the picture of the actual building, well, first of all they need to tell the dispatcher is the building that looks like an arc reactor from space. Because, I mean, literally, I'm sure it's the only building within, 10,000 miles that looks like that. But the fundamental problem with the building is the inside of it, the whole inside of the donut.
It's glass.
It's all glass on every floor, and all of the hallways for the offices go straight out to that glass.
They call it their spaceship campus.
Yeah, so, like, literally, I could see people coming out of their office, looking down at their phone, and just walking down the hallway and just misjudging the distance they've traveled and just going bonk right into the glass. Yeah, like you said.
So if you guys just do a search right now for, Apple building interior or whatever, you'll see it. It's even the staircases are glass.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I like the building. Like, I think that they probably should have addressed, something as simple as having, a crystal clear glass pane that's curved. Even if you're running down the outside hallway, how many people do you think of, like, just clipped their shoulder into it?
I feel like this building has a built-in Darwin meter. Hello? Did we lose Jerry? I think we lost Jerry. Oh, are you back?
Hello?
There you are.
Can you hear me?
There you are. No, you're not back yet. What happened to Jerry?
I can see you.
You can't see me. You're all frozen, dude. Yeah, I know. I'm still sending up the daters.
Hang up and call me back.
Why?
You son of a bitch.
Why?
You could hear me that whole time.
No, I couldn't. Literally, you just came back. You came back with hang up and call me back. So I was like, why?
Okay. I thought you were just fucking with me again. Oh, now I'm seeing it on the live stream. Yeah. It's like, it must have been like an internet burp, because according to Skype, we still have good quality.
Quality.
We got great quality.
So yeah, what I said, and I didn't hear your response, was I feel like the building has a built-in Darwin meter. Oh, you're gone again. See, Apple's DDoSing Jerry. That's what's happening. Apple's DDoSing Jerry. What's up, Jerry? Yeah, Jerry's stuck again. Well, there goes that one. Ay. Hey, hi.
Is it working now?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we just got a bum route through the internet, because I could still hear you just fine. I could see the live stream just fine.
I think our internet connection bumped into that glass wall.
It must
on
have.
The way up California.
Apple must have heard us talking about it.
Like I said for the third time now, built-in Darwin meter. There.
Yep. I heard you. I heard everything you said. I just couldn't respond.
Like when we were talking about this before the show, we had to imagine that there's probably these smudgy forehead marks on the glass, like here and there. Like every time there's a turn, like in the hallway, there's probably think about, you ever leaned your head on the car window? And you look at the car window later, you're like, ew, there's like a grease stain. Imagine the grease stains inside the building.
That would actually be pretty funny.
As you drink a Rockstar and your internet goes kaput again. Just use Discord, lol. I don't know, does Discord have good video now? Video calling?
I don't know. I haven't used it. Can you see me at all? Hear me at all?
It's funny how you can hear me that whole time, but you completely cut out.
Yeah, and I hear you. I see the stream just fine. I've got it up. No loss in quality anywhere. Even Skype says it's still good.
I just think it's the route between us.
It must be.
That's not my connection. I haven't dropped a single frame. Drop frames, 0, buddy. 0.
Yeah. No, I know it's not over here because I'm watching the YouTube stream just fine. So it's got to be something in the Skype connection.
So here's the tech part of Tech Talk, guys.
Preparing shit.
So I'm going to go ahead and segue into my next topic here, only because it's sort of semi-related, because apparently this article appeared right next to the one I'm about to talk about.
Yep.
So Stanford, and this one is courtesy of Mercury News, and I think it's been in several different news outlets, by the way, but Stanford students are protesting outside of Apple stores because they are upset that Apple is not doing more. And by the way, this is the Stanford Students Against Addictive Devices, or the SSAAD, or the SAD. They are protesting outside Infinite Loop headquarters in Cupertino and at the Apple store in Palo Alto, holding picket signs and handing leaflets to Apple employees walking around because they are mad that Apple is not doing more to curb device addiction.
I have to say I agree here with the whole device addiction thing and like how we have to be protected from ourselves, Jay, because common sense doesn't exist anymore. What are your thoughts?
There's nothing common about common sense, that's for sure. He says, it started out as something, and I am reading this directly from the article, by the way, guys. This is, again, courtesy of mercurynews.com. It started out as something they did for their class on ethics in coding. But the 4 seniors went beyond the classroom to try and get Apple to take smartphone... Wait, is this only 4 people out there? Anyway, to try and get Apple to take smartphone addiction seriously and offer solutions to curb addiction, such as an essential mode that allows iPhone users to only place calls, text, and take photos. So basically, they want to turn it into a featureless phone. Especially,
what I don't understand is you can just turn the fucker off. Like, it's still something you can enable and disable, so how does that solve anything?
You can also put down the cigarette, you can also put down the beer, and you can also put down the crack pipe. But if you're addicted, then that doesn't really change anything. You have to be sort of intervened or have some sort of an intervention, which is what they want Apple to do. So they want Apple to sell you the device, but then intervene between you using it.
So is that like a pop-up pops up on your phone and it's like, we have detected that you have done 350 social media posts today, so we're going to go ahead and disable that feature for 3 hours. Go hang out with your family.
Oh, man. Could you imagine the counter protests?
Fuck. Oh, my God. It's going to be a lot more than the 4 people at Stanford trying to get out of doing their homework.
Especially in social situations, we find that like when you're around the dinner table or when you're just chilling with your friends. Now, that's true. Go to any restaurant and look around. And how many people are sitting there on your phone? Guilty as charged.
A lot, yep.
I am guilty as charged. My wife...
I've got mine right here. Like, I don't even know why. It's just with me.
I just always have mine with me because, if I need to be getting a hold of by my wife or something for an emergency situation, I'm that guy that always has my phone readily available. But
and I mean, it has instant access to porn because it's got incognito mode and a good 4G connection. I mean,
I don't even need incognito for that. Just let it fly. I ain't ashamed of what I watch. I watched it. It's
awkward when you accidentally push the thing where you link it to the receiver in the other room and it pops up on the TV.
Oh, yeah. I almost airplayed one to the upstairs room. Oh, you got frozen again. Anyway, Jerry will be back here in a second. He says, people are just always perpetually on their phones and they just don't want to participate in social situations. Jerry's frozen again. My goodness. What is up with this connection? I hear your audio again. Oh, it's gone again. Scott Steves in chat says that reminds me my battery's dead. Oh, geez. Let's try this again. There we go. Hi.
Skype is dumb.
Skype is dumb.
Yeah, I've got a perfect ping time, so it's just Skype.
So what I thought was funny though, like I said, is the new receiver I have upstairs, that Pioneer Elite.
Yeah.
It has AirPlay, and I didn't know that. And one day I was like messing around with my phone, and I was like, why isn't it playing? What the hell? And then I realized it was playing upstairs. I'm like, oh crap, abort. Everybody was home.
Yeah, same exact thing happened to me. Luckily, nobody was home. I was sitting on the shitter and the bathroom, and I had my new TV that has the AirPlay thing built into it. And so I went down and I had the in-ear headphones things on. And I went down to link it and I clicked the wrong thing because I had like 3 things in the menu. I had my receiver, the TV, that. And I'm like, why am I not hearing audio through this thing? And then I take off take the earpiece out of my ear and I can faintly hear it. And I'm like, oh shit, it's coming out of the TV in the bedroom.
Yep. And my youngest daughter too, who she's got like one of our old iPhone 6s that has like some of the kids apps and stuff on there. And every now and then she'll be watching like YouTube Kids or something. And then she'll get all mad, like, it's not working. And then I hear it, like, blasting upstairs in the upstairs living room. So I need to go into that receiver and disable Apple Play. It's dangerous.
That is a very smart move. As a matter of fact, I probably should do the same. Because all it takes is one, like, little misstep. And then Xander's asking me a bunch of questions I don't have answers
Yeah,
for
like I
yet.
say, they're upstairs playing in the loft, and suddenly there's 65 inches of wang.
Exactly. Daddy, why does that guy have a wiener 5 times bigger than yours?
Well,
Son,
you see, there's
go play.
the short stick and the long stick, figuratively speaking, of course. It froze again, Jerry.
Son, keys only fit in certain holes, and well, your mom.
This call. My God, we're only half hour into the show, and Skype is screwing with us. Ay. Let's let me try connecting to you. Let me do the call. Hold on.
All right.
Sorry, guys. Eventually, we'll get something better than this.
Okay, Ro.
Eventually, we'll get something better than Skype for this.
Yeah,
We've
we
only
need
been
to.
saying this for like 100 episodes.
I know. We did briefly use Discord, but the video in it was garbage back then.
Hold on. Oh my God, this is getting great. So they're going into justification about why they're protesting.
Ooh, do tell.
Our intention is to be friendly with Apple, says Devyahans Gupta to Business Insider.
That's an Indian last name.
I knew the Gupta, but I don't know how to say the first name. Devyahans. Anyway, we're reaching out to them to say, you guys can help out with this issue, and this isn't just an Apple issue, but amongst Silicon Valley companies, Apple is in the best position to address it. The students told Business Insider that Apple employees at Infinite Loop were very responsive and positive during their protests outside company headquarters last weekend, giving tips on how and when the best time to approach Apple. Many of the employees actually missed their light crossing the intersection to talk to us and chat with us. Some employees were in a car and put their headsets on and said that our font was too small on our posters. It's like the guy standing on the freeway off ramp asking for like money or food, but he's got like a whole paragraph written out.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? And I'm thinking to myself, probably
Like nobody could read that driving by him.
Yeah, it's like maybe
it's impossible.
Maybe get to the point a little quicker. But anyway.
Yeah. And then you get the dumb fucks that'll like actually slow down so they can read it, and then everybody's doing like 25 on the freeway.
But basically, the SSAAD believes Apple needs to take more action. The group
That's
recommends turning the iPhone screen display into a gray display. What? Turn the iPhone screen display into a gray display. Go to Settings, General Accessibility, Display Accommodations, and turn on color filters into grayscale. What?
How does that? What, to make you sad?
Make it
Is that,
uncomfortable
like,
to
their
look
joke?
at? I don't know.
That must be their play on the word sad. Like
So
to
it's
make
like
you sad. Make
so
your
it's
phone
like
look
the
sad.
Seattle sky on your phone.
Probably.
Jeez.
Okay, those guys are dumb. They win the Darwin Award. Those guys are even dumber than the ones that are running into the glass.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Okay.
It's another example of someone just trying to push off their personal beliefs on a society. But here's if they're at dinner with someone and they're just the other person sitting there on their phone not wanting to talk to you, maybe you're boring. Maybe they don't want to talk to you. Maybe Twitter is just way better than what you have to offer at that time. I don't know. But my wife and I have pretty much a standing rule. If we're out on date night, phone's away, phone's in pocket. If it comes out, the other person grabs it. And every now and then I break that rule and I pull it out and the wife reaches for my phone and I slap her hand and say, "Don't touch." But
I want a soundbite of that so I can rearrange it a little bit.
Oh,
Like every once in a while, the wife looks at me and then I pull it out.
that happens too. Oh man, Jay and Jerry, would you guys ever go on PKA again if you were invited? I was invited plenty of times, but I just don't have 4 hours to dedicate, and I don't want to pop onto the show for a short amount of time, and I've just got too much going on. So that's
Their
that.
audience doesn't really like me. Everybody just thinks I'm like a Wings of Redemption like rerun. So
Dude,
I'm just like, nah.
The Wings of
Probably
Redemption
not.
things, aren't they still at it?
They're still at it.
I don't know. I didn't even know that PKA was still a thing, to be honest.
It is, but they don't. I mean, they don't get hardly any viewership. I think they just do it more just for fun, just as a reason to like get together and talk about stuff. I mean, I think the show gets like maybe 80,000 views, 60,000, 80,000 a week.
What? I'm sorry, I was looking at my phone. Just kidding. I'm trying to go into the accessible into the I'm trying to go to the settings that they mentioned.
Are you going to actually try to turn it gray and see if that like helps your addiction to social media?
Oh, I already closed their article. Oh. Yeah, I wanted to see what exactly the gray screen was that they were talking about. Let's see, general accessibility.
Colorblind mode or something? I don't know. Use Siri.
Oh yeah,
enable colorblind mode.
Siri's turned off on my phone. Increased contrast, switch controls, touch. I don't know. These guys are dumb.
Oh, there's a new update.
Don't do it. They're dumb. Anyway, I don't know. What
Apple's becoming Microsoft with the whole update thing. Seriously, like every week there's a new update.
Rest finger to open? What does that mean? That sounds like a sex move.
I know. It's just
Whatever. So Oh, Jerry froze again. Oh God.
Can
I think the show's gonna end early.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think the show's gonna end early at this rate.
Yeah.
It's stupid Skype.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, there you are. You're back.
Hello.
It's like the connection completely drops out between us and then comes back. It's really strange.
And the weird thing is,
Nope, you're gone again.
actually stream. I guess you know what I can do? Hold on.
I don't know what he's doing, guys. I have no idea. I heard a crash. I'm
gonna do a thing, Jake.
I heard a clatter. Nick's over there looking at Craigslist. Looking for car parts? You don't even know? You don't know what you're doing?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Jerry's still stuck. Try Discord live on stream. It's a little bit late for me to try and set up a Discord capture now in the middle of the stream, don't you think? Sheesh. Jesus. Jay, you should probably set up your stream this way. Do this now. Do it now while you're streaming. No. Absolutely not. Time to test Discord. No, it's not time to test Discord. I just said that.
Hello.
What'd you do? Did you change your aggregation?
I did.
Oh, okay. Maybe one of the aggregates are dropping off.
Yeah. So well, it's not because I was still getting a perfect ping even when I was dropping out to you, and I still had perfect stream off of YouTube. So I'm thinking it was just Skype was taking a path that was broken. So now I'm routing through Portland, Oregon to see if that helps.
Hey, Jay, where's Skunkworks? It's still at home. I have to bring it back to the studio. I brought the other computer home, but I haven't hooked it up yet. I'm sorry. I just don't have a lot of time to play games at home.
All right. Can you hear me okay now?
So far, I could hear you fine before, but then it drops off suddenly. So we'll have to see.
Well, we'll see what happens now because now I'm actually routed through a completely different gateway. So it's not even in my state anymore.
Well, that's good.
I'm going to do a test. Quick test. Hold on. Stand by. Yep. I am now being routed through Amazon.
And the call got sharper, too. Like, your camera looks way sharper than it did before.
Yeah, I think it was just something about that path through my ISP just was not working with Skype for some reason.
Yeah. As I'm monitoring my connection, I still have not dropped a single frame, so we're good. Yeah,
I have a ping minus T running against Google right now so that I can see, when there's a dropout, if there's a DDoS or anything like that. Nope. It stayed consistent at 19 milliseconds through the whole thing.
Stupid nothing question. What software is being used for the side-by-side Skyping? This is Discord. It's just window captures and stuff.
No, not Discord. Not
Discord.
Discord.
I'm sorry. It's Skype. OBS. That's it. Yeah.
There you go. And it's like the old-ass version of OBS because he won't upgrade.
Jesse Greyhouse says, what would it take to get Jay versus Linus boxing match for charity? Barnacles can be the sexy ring girl. Imagine Linus would try and wear me down with movement, but I think I would move a lot faster and have more endurance than he would expect. So it'd just be like once there's a grab, it's kind of all over.
Isn't he a black belt?
Yeah, but it depends on what I think. What martial art depends on what weight that black belt has. You know
True.
What I mean?
Fair enough. Like if it's Krav Maga, you probably should rethink.
It's like I've got a black belt in Taekwondo. That means you're a great kicker, but you lack a grappling and punching. But if you're like I've got a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, I would still probably like back off a little bit. You know what I mean?
Brazilian jiu-jitsu is some badass stuff. Also judo. A lot of people underestimate judo. Judo's a lot of grabs and a lot of grappling and holding.
Yeah. Jay Smash.
But you never hear about it anymore. Like, do you know anybody that does judo anymore? Like, it's like an old ass martial art. But
Jay trying to trash talk. No, it's just Jay trying to predict. It's not trash. It's not trash talk. Jay more body mass. You think? Do you think I have more body mass than Linus? Your call's going to shit again, dude.
Is it doing it again?
Yeah.
Hold on here. Let's see. I'm going to ping the Googles. Stand by. Yep, still getting perfect ping time. No drop packets.
Jerry is delayed. Yeah, he did freeze for a second there, and then it caught up, so he was moving in like 5x.
Yeah, something's up with Skype.
Jay versus Linus at badminton. Oh, gosh. That would be, like, I would get murdered.
I'd watch that.
Linus travels with his badminton gear. And
Does he?
Yeah, and he'll find like if there's a badminton place nearby, he will travel with his gear and he'll go play badminton. No joke.
Is that like a Canadian thing? Like I don't know of anybody that plays badminton like professionally.
I don't think it's even a Canadian thing. I think even Canadians think it's weird. It'll be sponsored by Dyson. Speaking of that, watch our next video. Everyone here is laughing. The unboxing match. Yeah, Jerry froze again. I think we're gonna cut this off at 6 today instead of 6:30. I don't feel like fighting with this for a whole hour and a half.
Yeah, I agree.
Stupid Skype.
Oh, hold on. I did get a couple spikes on ping time, but they're not dramatic. They're like 100 ms. There.
What are you doing, big guy? Nothing. My two best friends are black belts at something or another. Scrapyard Wars, the pre-sequel. Revengeance? Okay. Yeah, Jerry's frozen again. I can't carry a show by myself. I don't know how to talk that much. What's my favorite what? My favorite color is color. I don't know what that means.
I just changed the route again.
Where did it go?
Now I'm going through Seattle.
Okay.
It's weird though. The ping times are not going above like I had one packet that went to 100, so that's like nowhere even enough to affect call quality at all.
Is Jay volunteering to take on a Taekwondo black belt? No, absolutely not. I know Taekwondo black belts have some of the hardest kicks in the world. My daughter is second junior black. She actually has her first black belt test in July. So I'm not ignorant to what black or Taekwondo masters can do. I'm not that ignorant.
Taekwondo is pretty good striking. I mean, if you got somebody who's really limber and really quick and can keep their distance on you, they can do some damage.
Kicking. Remember, Taekwondo literally stands for like punching and kicking, but there's very little punching. It's mostly kicks and.
Well, it's about reach, right? It's about not letting people get close to you.
They don't have a lot of distance increasing moves, like they have push kick and things like that. But a lot of it is just straight up speed kicks, major arcing kicks, like obviously roundhouses and axe kick. Not axe kicks. Axe kicks will knock you out. You get kicked in the forehead with the heel. No, but a lot of like tornado kicks and back kicks and stuff, like a lot of spinning moves too. There's a lot of generated power. That's why the best fighters in the world will always have like high Dan levels of Taekwondo, just because there's no better way to learn kicking.
Yeah. Well, if you ever watch like UFC, I mean, largely the people that dominated UFC were the bigger guys that could take a lot more abuse and were much better at grappling just because of their mass and their strength.
Yeah.
But they tire quickly. That's the thing is, right? The bigger you are, the faster you tire. So if you can be a wiry little bastard that can run somebody into the ground before they can get you, then you got an edge.
Taekwondo is only for show. It's technically a sport. It's considered an Olympic sport too. It's about kicking the other opponent's targets and stuff.
Yeah. But have you ever heard of Hapkido?
Of course. Hapkido was one of the arts I wanted to learn because I loved the idea that it was a defensive art designed to use the energy of your opponent against them. I loved Hapkido.
That's what I did as a kid. Yeah. I did 2 years of Hapkido, and the reason I did it was because it was a lot of knees, a lot of elbows, and a lot of grabbing and grappling. And so the heavier you are, if you were doing it properly, you could totally use it to your advantage. Right.
But it's a purely defensive art. It's an offense through defense, and it's all about redirecting the energy coming at you, which is some of it was like great. Like Steven Seagal was one of the super like high masters in Hapkido.
Yeah, like a lot of the moves were just like you said, using people's energy against them. Like if they're running at you or they're charging or they're leaning their weight into you, basically taking advantage of that and pulling them into you. Mm-hmm. And grabbing them and redirecting them. Like one of the things that I don't know if we called him, but we didn't call him sensei. We called him something else. But the guy that taught us when we were a kid, he'd do this thing where he'd be like, you run at me as hard as you can. And he'd do this thing where he'd just basically sidestep just ever so slightly. And he'd just reach out and grab you by the shirt and just basically make you do a face plant.
Yeah.
Like if you had any energy running forward, like whatsoever at all, he could basically just add to that just a little bit and face plant you, and then he'd just be right on top of you. He'd be like, oh shit.
Let's move on to card talk though, because reading some of the chat regarding the martial arts, suddenly there's an awful lot of armchair masters in the chat. Suddenly everyone's a fucking black belt in whatever BS art they held, and yeah, it's kind of sad. It's like AMD versus NVIDIA, only now suddenly everybody's a fucking Jackie Chan. So I
only did it because it was free. That's the only reason I did it, is because my parents were poor growing up and they had a friend that taught it. And I only did it for 2 years because after that I don't like pain. I'm not a guy that likes pain. I like doing shit. I like doing snowboarding and stuff like that, but I don't like things that are intentionally painful. Martial arts is intentionally painful.
You know why my daughter does Taekwondo?
Why?
Because that was the thing that could control her hyperactivity without medicine.
That's actually pretty cool. And I could totally see that, like forcing her to focus on something and becoming good at something that's putting out a lot of energy.
Absolutely. And so it was one of those things about her learning. Self-discipline, focus, and it allowed her to control her ADHD, which she was diagnosed ADHD with impulse disorder. And my wife and I refused to medicate, so we wanted to redirect. And it's worked out very, very well in the 2 years she's been doing it. Actually, she's been doing it 2 years this month. And so regardless of whether or not it's a self-defensive art or it's a self-defense art or an offensive art or a sport or an expedition, you know what I mean? What's the word I'm looking for here? Where they do a demonstration, whatever. Exhibition. Doesn't matter, because the point for her was allowing her to control herself without medication, and it works. So.
Yeah, and I growing up, we couldn't afford medication, so my parents would just make me go outside and ride my dirt bike and almost kill myself every day.
Yeah.
So that worked out pretty well too.
The dirt bike.
If you guys want to see me put my money where my mouth is, there's 2 videos on the internet where you can see me just get the ever living shit kicked out of me. One is Arnie stick fighting, and the other one is judo.
Yeah, well, and she was like a third your size.
She's like 53. Yeah, she's like 53 years old, mother of 3, and she weighed maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. And she fucked me up pretty good. Now, granted, we had rules: no eye gouging, no hair pulling, and she broke like half those rules.
You also were afraid to really grab on her because you didn't want to like grab boob and stuff.
Towards the end, I started getting pretty desperate. I mean,
because you could
I had
see
my
she
face
wasn't
buried in her tits and her ass because I was like, I am not losing.
And you still lost because she eventually spider monkeyed up to your neck, and that's where it ended.
Yeah, she gets me in a leg bar, and when I tap out, she doesn't respect it.
No.
Because we're all drunk as shit.
And your neck was going pop, 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 pop.
She makes me scream. She makes me literally scream for my life. So if you want to watch that video's on YouTube. You have to go find it though, because I ain't gonna link it for you. You guys have to go find it.
Yeah, 100-pound, 53-year-old woman did fight Jerry and made Jerry scream.
Yep. And then I went toe to toe with a guy, a 3rd degree black belt in Arnie stick fighting. Yep. And I told him not to go easy on me. Luckily, he ignored that and still pretty went easy on me, but he still lacerated my leg and my arm pretty good because I thought it was good to do it in shorts and a t-shirt.
Well, yeah, and those are just a lot of like quick strikes to like the wrist and stuff. Things that just make it like hurt for you to even function.
Yeah, and the sticks, the funny thing is you look at them, they don't look like they'd cut because they're just basically circular like bamboo poles.
Yeah.
But the way that you strike with it, the way the edge connects with you at the tip of it, oh, fuck, man, it's like a knife.
Yeah, and I watched that. He was hitting your shoulder, your elbow, your wrist. It was all about hitting your joints.
Yeah, he was way quicker than me because all the training he gave me before we did the fight went out the window about halfway through, and I just started swinging it like a baseball bat, and then he just like decimated me.
It's kind of like when you watch someone new to sparring, right? During the warm-ups and the targets and dummy kicking and punching, it's like everything looks all textbook, and then once you're sparring, it's just like haymakers and wailing, and nothing looks right.
I was just swinging it like a baseball bat. And I connected with him once, and you could tell when I connect with him because that's the second when he ups it like 3 more notches and says, fuck this. Yeah. And I didn't want to stop. They stopped it. I wasn't the one that stopped it. Somebody else stopped it. Because my adrenaline was flowing. I didn't feel shit until afterwards when I was like, why is my leg on fire?
Life in a Mustang, or Life in a Mustang. I think it's NA, like naturally aspirated. I think it's a little pun there. Life in a Mustang says, Jay, race Jerry one day would be cool. Come to Florida for demo drag race. Jerry's STI versus my Nissan would be a good little race.
In a straight line, I think that would be a decent drag race because I'd have you off the line, but you'd make up the distance.
If we were doing a half-mile race, if we were doing a half-mile, then yeah. But I think in the quarter-mile, I don't have enough track to drive around you.
Yeah, because my car doesn't. Because you're NA, you're way more aerodynamic. That's the biggest problem with the STI is once you get up to about 110, 120 miles an hour, that drag increases.
The problem is I'm only doing like 108 in the quarter, so I don't have enough track to do it.
Right.
My car does 0 to 60 in like 4.8, and the quarter mile is like a 12.9 at 108. So,
yeah, and I think the stock STI is a 4.6 0 to 60, and mine is stage 2, so it's probably about 3.9 or 4 flat. If I do a proper launch, which again is tricky to do, but if I did a proper launch and I hooked up, I could do it in probably just a touch under 4. But then you got the aerodynamics to keep carrying you. So I start running up against the wall.
You're bug eye, right? You're bug eye or blob eye?
Oh, no, it's the Hawk. Mine would be the blob eye.
Okay, you have a blob eye because it's 05, right?
Yep.
Wow, I'm hearing myself feedback in your mic or something. So
sorry, I was a little too close.
It's like the most non-aerodynamic version of that STI that was made.
Yeah, and it was the year that they did the taller hood scoop. Like the hood scoop has like a whole nother stage where you can see they basically just grafted more onto it.
Yeah.
So it's the tallest of all the hood scoops, which gives you great airflow through the intercooler, but it also creates a massive amount of drag.
Colin Strimbeer says, how is the Primo Chill View holding up in your new rig holding up? Asking because I had problems with mine. I don't have View in my D-frame rig. I took that out when I was trying to get the air out of the system because so many people have said they were having problems with theirs. We have had a couple systems here show problems with it, like falling out. To be fair, one of those systems was a brand new radiator that I did not clean firsthand, so I don't know how much of that had to do with flex. The Threadripper system, though, that's still going perfectly fine, but that's using the Primo Chill radiators. So what I've noticed...
Wait, what do you mean by falling out?
The effect doesn't go anymore.
Okay, gotcha.
The swirlies, yeah, that doesn't go. It just looks like a clear blue fluid now, not one of those specular, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, the Threadripper system though with the silver in it, it still looks as good as day one, and that system has only been using the Primo Chill radiators. So I feel like there's a metallurgy or something, but there's been a lot of hit and miss with a lot of folks using it. So for that reason, I've stopped using it. They keep saying they're changing the formulas, and I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, you know what? Screw all of these show fluids. Screw all of these swirly, sparkly, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like enough is enough. Just need a fluid that's not going to clog up your shit and won't have problems. So, and I had a phone call with Primo Chill, actually, where I basically told them the same thing. I was like, guys, this is not... Sure, in the independent testing and stuff, it works well. But then... And then what happens is... Oh, I still have the Skype sounds on. Hold on. I forgot to turn off the Skype sounds. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, because now everyone's going to... Dang it. I can't... I don't know where my Skype window is. So I think you guys get what I'm saying, though.
Well, if you find it, check the message.
Oh, Jerry is getting stuck. So it's one of those things where once it came out public, so many people started to mute all sounds. There we go. There were so many different test cases suddenly. Like, so you can test it in-house, have like 10 systems running, 20 systems running, whatever, and then you get it out with thousands of people using it, suddenly all of those problems start to show up. And I'm kind of sick of the constant battle with different coolants and things. It sucks. Are there any fluids designed for long-term use? Yeah, XT1, X1, distilled water, anything non-opaque. Like, if it's clear, it's probably going to have a much better longevity than something that's opaque or sparkly. Please use Discord. Video has improved. 10 of 10. Yeah, I said we'll try Discord next time. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, I said we'll try Discord next time, but I just haven't had time to like set anything up here.
Sir.
You back?
Yep.
All right. It feels weird talking about myself. I never run the show anymore, but like just me, so it's weird. So is the View bad? I can't answer that question because the problem is, here's the thing. There's so many different types of metals. There's so many different radiators. There's different copper alloys. There's different permeations is the right word, right? Different variations of hardware that can all interact differently. What did you clean your radiators with? You know, did you do a proper cleaning job? Did you check the pH balance? There's so many things that as a builder you're responsible for that could lead to the failing of a fluid. So that's why I can't answer that, because you may make the problem happen, if that makes sense.
And how many people actually like flush their fluid and stuff, honestly?
I don't
like
think
my water system, I never did it.
I don't think, I would just guess, maybe 1 or 2 people out of every 10 actually take the time to clean the radiators. The radiators in my D-frame took me 2 days to clean by using the process that I used, including the Blitz Pro cleaning, and then actually letting it sit in there for the 12 hours and shaking it and agitating it, heating it up, draining it, and then doing like the 5 gallons of distilled water flush, and then running the part 2 through it, and then 5 more gallons to flush water through it, and checking the pH. I don't think most people do that.
Now, I bet you nobody other than you has ever checked the pH of their cooling fluid.
I think anyone who has a Blitz Pro kit did, because it comes with the kit.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, the pH can change, obviously, over time.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's one of those things. Time Jerry out of chat. What do you want me to time you out of? Why do they want me to time you out of chat, Jerry? What are you doing?
I'm just typing things every once in a while. I haven't typed anything bad. I type like ha 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 and lol. Like I don't know why I need to be timed out for that.
Because we want to, bro.
Digs.
What about a 52-year-old woman? Yeah, well, that was a couple years ago, but 53-year-old woman kicked Jerry's ass.
Yeah, she fucked me up. I mean, we agreed on the rules ahead of time, and I mean, I will say that I did go easy on her, but she did legit wear me out. Like at the end, I was so tired I couldn't really do anything, and she still had lots of gas in the tank, so she just wore me down.
Old 2500K in chat says, "Hey Jay, I love your builds. You are an artist at what you do. I'm waiting on my water cooling parts now. Can't wait till they're here." Well, thank you for that compliment, and yeah, take your time with your build. Make sure dot your T's and cross your I's.
I recommend Home Depot for all your tubing needs and all your fitting needs.
We're doing that video still.
I want to see it.
It's all Home Depot fittings and stuff. Yeah.
Are you gonna even do like an aquarium pump and shit, or like not an aquarium pump? What is it? Like the pond pumps that you have for like waterfall features?
I was thinking about it, but some of those are actually pretty expensive and still overkill. You can get a very cheap 12-volt pump that doesn't have like the terminal on it. You'd have to like put my own Molex on there, but you can get them like for like $10, $12 on Amazon. I'm just gonna go that route.
Yeah. Here, let me ask you a question. Would you ever be interested?
No.
In a very a very light collaboration of potentially 3D printing an impeller design for a pump to see if you can increase its efficiency with a 3D printed impeller?
None of the pumps I use have a non-metal impeller, so.
Well, no. I mean, are they fully metal, or is it just have a metal insert so that the magnetism can spin it?
It's a metal. The outside is metal, not the inside, and it's all one piece.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. The only pump that I ever had for my computer had a plastic impeller that had a metal piece in it so it could rotate it.
I think the DDCs might be. No, that has to be metal, otherwise it can't spin.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like how you would 3D print a pump, like, but without a shaft, right? Because the shaft inevitably will leak no matter what bearing you use.
My shaft is always leaky. You know what I'm saying?
I got a leaky shaft too, man. I don't know what it is. The damn thing, I was born with it, and it just fucking always leaking. Jay, Harbor Freight water pump? No, Harbor Freight water pump is how you destroy your computer in 15 seconds.
Jay, when do you think NVIDIA, spelled wrong by the way, is going to launch there is spelled wrong, new cards? I think they're going to probably not launch it until like June. That's my guess.
When did you become grammar Nazi? Jesus.
You can't say Nazi.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
What water cooler would you recommend for an MSI RX 580 Armor?
That's a shitty whatever it is.
I would recommend whatever one fits on it.
I'm just kidding. I don't even know what it is. I'm just
it's
like,
a graphics
that's
card.
A shitty whatever it is, dude.
It's an RX 580 graphics card.
So Jay, what do I need some new ammunition to tell people when they're like, should I get Intel or Ryzen in a multi GPU system that they're using for gaming? I'm having a hard time figuring out like how to say AMD's for poor people anymore. Because technically the Ryzens have more available CPU lanes than the lower end processors, and they are technically cheaper. So like why would you tell somebody building like a high end gaming rig to go Intel versus Ryzen, or would you?
I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like when I did the Ghost build, which went up yesterday, I got a lot of comments like, why Ryzen and not Intel? Why Ryzen and not Intel? Well, because Intel doesn't offer a CPU option for me. Outside, okay, so yes, I know ASRock makes an X299 ITX. You also give up features. You also give up 2 channels of memory, which is one of the whole reasons for having X299. To do dual channel would just be dumb. So Intel doesn't make a mainstream ITX processor with as many cores and as many logical processors as AMD does. And the 1800X is like $80 cheaper than a 8700K. So the 1800X was the logical choice. No pun intended. Because 8 cores, 16 threads, DDR4, overclockability, all the PCIe lanes, although it doesn't matter in ITX, you only have 1 slot anyway.
Yeah.
Although, no, I was running M.2, so that takes up PCIe lanes as well. But it really came down to price to performance again. A $300 CPU. You can get an 1800X now for $300. It launched at $500. It now costs $300. So
yeah, it's like in my system that I have built right here, in my crazy build Puget did for me. We went with Intel because, quite frankly, Adobe products favor the Intel processors and the hyper-threading and everything like that. That's the only reason we went with Intel, because it does have bottlenecks. Like, for instance, I have 3 NVMe drives, and they're capable of 3.5 gig a second read-write, and 2 of them are capped at 2.5 just because of lack of lack of the CPU lanes.
And you were using a 7940X, which is the 14-core, which is one that does not have the gimped lanes. I think you only have, 44 lanes?
I think so, yeah. And how many does Ryzen has more than that, though, don't they?
I don't recall what it is on mainstream. But remember, you're running 2 16X cards as well that are running 16X each.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So that's going to eat up a lot of lanes. So you think that I'd still run into the same problem on Ryzen then?
I think you could dump those down to Gen 2 by 8 and gain more PCIe lanes and get your speed back on your drives. But that's just me.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that because realistically, I'm not saturating the 16X with those cards, like not even coming close, right?
No. In Gen
negligible loss dropping down to 8, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Gen 2 8X. I think you'd get near the cap of that, but I think you would open up lanes back to your M.2 and then you get full IO back.
I'm gonna try that tonight because even if let's say hypothetically speaking, even if I lost like 2 frames a second or something in a game, whatever, right? If it was negligible, I would way rather have the throughput on those 2 other drives.
Yeah.
Like an extra gig a second, that's a lot. That's a hell of a lot of throughput.
You'd probably use that more than your actual card performance.
I tend to agree, especially even in the video editing space. Thinking about that, yeah, I would use the bandwidth from the storage, like especially if I was loading like projects with a lot of layers and stuff like that. Yeah, I'd use that a lot more.
I did a video showing how Adobe didn't care what GPU was in the computer. As long as it had a GPU. I tested it with AMD cards. I tested it with NVIDIA cards. I went all the way back to a GTX 580 and showed that the render times were all within 1 second of each other with any GPU plugged into the system. The amount of load on the GPU varied between like 5% and maybe 25%, but the render times were all within 1 second of each other, no matter what graphics card went in, whether it be a
Which
Vegas
codec were you rendering to, though? Was it like H.264? Because it dramatically changes depending on what codec you're using.
H.264 YouTube 4K preset.
Yeah, because like for instance, on this computer, if I render H.264, it only uses like 10% of the GPU when I have the GPU load opened in Task Manager.
Right.
However, if I put it on the Blu-ray codec, was it H.265, the new one? It maxes it out at 100% and the render time's like a quarter.
But why would you do that?
Well, I can't because the file's like massively ginormous and YouTube doesn't know what it is and cuts the sound.
And not only that, last time I updated it or uploaded an H.265, it went up and then YouTube gave me an error at 100%.
Yeah, see, you were lucky. See, you got an error. I actually succeeded and upload. This was a year ago when I did this. I uploaded the H.265 and it worked, but there was no audio. And I went and looked online and they're like, oh, yeah, it's like they don't even support transcoding that. So we're surprised you even got video.
Yeah.
So, but if they fix that, that would be awesome. That would solve all my problems because the H.265 codec uses 100% of all my CPU cores and uses almost all of the GPU. But H.264, there's just no. It's been around for so long. Nobody's created an updated version of that codec that heavily utilizes GPUs.
Gamers Nexus has a video in which they saw the limit of 8 lanes only with the Titan V. Yeah, so Titan V was probably fast enough to be the only one that could actually saturate all 8 lanes. So I would try that. Go Gen 2 by 8.
That's a good idea. I'm going to try that, and if that actually works, that's a neat solution. I bet you Puget would love to hear that.
I mean, by default, if you leave it on auto, the motherboard is going to just be like, oh yeah, these are Gen 3 cards. Let's go Gen 3 by 16 on both. But you're not going to really gain anything.
So, and to do that, I just go into the BIOS basically and just take it out of auto, right?
Go into the BIOS, into the PCIe settings.
Okay.
It might be under integrated.
I think I've seen it. I think I've seen it in there, and like you're right, it was on auto for everything. Like every PCI slot just had auto.
So let's make it Gen 2, reboot, and then if you go and look at your whatever PCIe devices are plugged in, then it should say Gen 2 8X.
And then because those lanes would be available, the NVMe drive should just pick them up automatically if I leave them on auto, right?
Each motherboard's probably different, but it should.
I'm going to try that because, man, if that works, that would be awesome.
Because it depends on the motherboard, honestly. Yeah. Because technically it's still considered a PCIe device. And like I think on my Rampage board, it actually shows me M.2 where I can select the gen speed on that as well. So it depends on the motherboard. Like my Rampage board, I believe, has a setting where I could change M.2 generation.
Yeah, it's got the Gigabyte. It's got the Gigabyte X299 RS7.
Yeah, so I have the Gigabyte BIOS structure sucks to begin with. So good luck on that one.
It's very Windowsy.
The Gigabyte has very solid hardware. They just always are lacking in their BIOS and software integration, like their navigability.
Yeah, because the system right now has 2 terabyte Samsung Evo 960s and then a 1 terabyte Evo 960 is my scratch drive basically. Yeah. And the only one that's getting full performance right now is my C drive. We have that configured in that slot so that's getting all the bandwidth. But the other two, I mean, they're losing a gigabyte a second of throughput.
That's huge.
So a third of their performance.
Wacky Vert in chat says, Jay, are you strictly a roadie or would you dabble into mountain biking? One, I'm strictly a nothing at the moment. If you can't tell by my man boobs right here. I just haven't had a chance to ride lately. It's the weather actually. We finally got a little bit of a winter here in California. It's been in like the 40s and 50s. Yeah, I know it's not a winter for most of the places, but for us it is.
Weather's been everywhere.
Yeah, so the weather finally turned in March. We were getting what's considered our typical winter, and I don't have winter riding gear, fleece lining, or anything like that. And I tried riding in the cold in my sweatpants and my hoodie, and that was bad. Like the air gets trapped in there and makes you cold. But I don't mountain bike only because of past experiences when I was a teenager and stuff. I have that hold my beer syndrome, and I tend to try things I don't have the skill to do, and then I always end up in the ER. So,
well, I do that on the street. Remember when I fucked up your bike, like getting tangled up in it in the middle of in the middle of traffic?
Yeah, by going ass over tea kettle in the middle of the intersection in front of all the cars.
That was the most slow motion wreck I've ever had in my life.
All I hear is, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And then I hear flop, flop, crash, splat, fleshy sound and then I hear the sound of the bike metal hitting the ground. Yeah.
I still have a scar from that.
And so is my bike.
Yeah, we're
the side of the frame's all scratched up.
Yep, I still have a scar from that. That never actually healed. There's still a dent in my shin from that.
My bike still looks exactly like it did after the crash.
Oh my god. Well, hey, you fix it up. I'll come down and wreck it again.
It's an aluminum frame. It's okay to get scratched. Now, if my carbon frame had taken that hit, I would have been a bit upset.
Well, next time you come up this way, because I still want you to come up and help me with the sound treatment of this room, because it's it sucks. But next time you come up, let's grab the rad power bikes and go do Iron Horse. Okay. It's just a big, it's a nice, easy incline, 1,100-foot climb over like 6 or 8 miles, and it's just all scenery. Like you don't see anything but just like animals and terrain.
As long as the battery holds out, because I don't want to then suddenly have to crank that big ass bike up that incline.
No. The beauty of this ride is you just ride until the battery goes dead, and then you turn around because it's all downhill.
Oh, okay.
It used to be a train track. They just tore up the train track, so it's a perfect grade all the way up. And then when you run out of battery, because I usually go up, we made it 11 miles last time we went before the battery died, and we just turned around and coasted the whole thing all the way back.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, trust me, dude. If my 300-pound ass can do it, you'll do it like no problem. You'll probably go 10 times the distance because you'll actually pedal a little.
Robert Brackett says, Barnacle, when are you going to do a Dyson vacuum review?
Dude, I have like 3 of them. I'm surprised I haven't already.
Let me tell you guys what sucked about that Dyson thing, and the reason why you guys like probably saw a non-stop stream of it. And by the way, I saw someone out there like including a list of all the YouTubers who did a Dyson review and why they're unsubbing all of them, and they included me in that list. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't do a Dyson review.
What's going on with that? I don't understand. Like, why would you unsub somebody for doing a Dyson review?
Well, I think people were just mad because their entire inbox for the entire day before yesterday, was nothing but Dyson reviews. Because here's what Dyson did. Typically, when there's an embargo lift or a campaign, there is just what I call a shotgun blast of videos. You guys have all seen this when a new graphics card launches. Perfect example. 6 a.m. Boom! All 12 of your favorite tech YouTubers put up the same content, right? The same graphics card review.
Not me.
Except you. But I said favorite, Jerry. So anyway,
I hate you so much.
So anyway, you guys have seen the shotgun approach where it's just one big random blast of here's all the content. Dyson did a staggered review where every hour throughout the day 2 more videos were released. So there was a 6 a.m. 2 went out, 7 a.m. 2 went out, 8 a.m. 2 went out, 9 a.m. and they had like a ton of people on this list. It was hitting Instagram, it was hitting Facebook, it was hitting Twitter, because they also had social media call-out campaigns as well. So they did the machine gun approach, where it's just like a tat, 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 like a constant firing of videos throughout the day. So every time you logged into Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube, even Facebook, all you saw was Dyson, 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 because they literally did it the worst way they possibly could. If they were truly trying to get viewership and excitement and hype about a product, they did it in the worst way possible, because the shotgun blast at least has time to ramp down, where throughout the day as a viewer you were probably only getting more and more irritated every time you saw the word Dyson, because it was never ending. So that's exactly
I can see that actually messing with SEO pretty dramatically too, because if you follow 10 people and they release a video and the next one releases another video that's Dyson, the algorithm's probably going to be like, well, you must be really into fucking Dyson if everybody you subscribe to is reviewing a Dyson.
Yeah, I don't.
So it's probably putting them at the top of your sub box every time another Dyson video came, especially if you watched the first one, right? If you watched one of them, SEO would be like, damn, this guy's got a boner for Dyson. And then there's a new video coming out every 2 hours hitting the top of your sub box.
We have a Dyson here. It's not even like a part of that campaign. It was a Dyson vacuum I owned from years ago. It's one of the first ones, so it's ginormous and it makes all kinds of noise. It's terrible. It's a terrible vacuum cleaner. But yeah, I was just... That
Dude,
campaign.
I bought 3 of them now. I've got the original one, the the big purple monster.
Yeah, mine's red. Mine's red because it was the Target edition.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they had like the animal version that was purple. That's the one we got because it like had the different brush for getting cat hair out. We got that one. We got the canister version, which I like the canister back because it doesn't weigh anything and you don't have to like tote around a whole bunch of shit with it. But the one I like the most is their little handheld one, the one that's got that digital motor thing in it.
Yeah.
It goes for about, they say 40 minutes. That's bullshit. It's like 20 minutes. But I can vacuum the entire house. It has just as much suction as the big one, and it's just a handheld vacuum with a long wand on it with a beater bar.
Yeah.
At the end, it does just as good of a job as the big ones. You just have to dump the fucking tank on it 5 times.
Beater bar. You want to see my beater bar?
Mario's like, hey, Jerry, shut the fuck up and let him talk. Hey, Mario, fuck off. Here, hold on. I'm going to time him out.
You weren't interrupting me.
I'm going to time out this little motherfucker. I'm just kidding, Mario. I'm not going to time you out. I just wanted him to squirt a
So basically, I think everyone would agree with me that Dyson is just the Apple of vacuums.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
That one's going to hit you in a minute, Nick. Their marketing campaigns and even their marketing style, like even their advertising style, like in their own ads, is very Apple-esque. Oh.
You know, though, but how many companies do that nowadays, though? Like, I can think of way more companies than just Dyson that kind of pretty much rip off Apple verbatim for like the whole clean and to the point hipster advertising.
You'll do what? Nick said, "Hold on, I'll do it. Hold on, I want to know what he's gonna do."
What's he doing?
He's pretending like he doesn't hear me.
What? Oh,
In chat, you're like, "I'll do it. Hold on."
I was gonna find Mario and time him out.
Oh.
No, don't time out Mario. I already told him he's got a free pass.
Would agree Dyson is shit just like Apple. But let me ask you this. Did you think Dyson was shit prior to this campaign? Or do you think Dyson was shit after this campaign?
That's a good question. Because, I mean, I don't know anything about the campaign other than what you just told me. But I actually do like Dyson as a product. Do I think it's overpriced? Yes. Do I think it's any more innovative than it was when it first came out? No.
Yeah.
But I do like Dyson vacuums. I mean, they do a good job. I've never had one break on me. So...
Dyson are the Apple of vacuums. They're overpriced and hipsterish.
I'll tell you what's a piece of shit is Sleep Number, though. I am so regretting about that Sleep Number bed. Biggest fucking waste of money ever.
I don't regret our Sleep Number, but I didn't go to the top tier like you. I started near the bottom.
No, the biggest complaint I have with it is that it's 2 separate beds. The reasons I bought it is because it's 2 separate beds, so you can have 2 different sets of adjustment. But the problem is they both fucking slide off the bases. When you deflate them, they lean to the side really hard. The big mattresses don't have that problem, but the little ones do.
See, I've got a Cal King size, but it doesn't do any of that. I don't have the one that has the sit up function.
Makes me mad. Just makes me bad. I'm gonna send Sleep Number an angry letter.
Sleep Number is quite honestly. Sleep Number is quite honestly nothing but a glorified air mattress. Quite honestly,
it is. Did you watch them when they came in?
Yeah, it looks like they look like an air mattress bladder with a pool noodle around it.
Yeah, the fuckers like pull out like what. And when I watched it, I was kind of like scratching my head because I was like, I figured a mattress would just show up and they would just set it up. No, they build the mattress at your house. Yep. They come and they basically have what looks like the outside of a mattress. They unzip the top of it. They stuff a Coleman fucking air mattress in it, and then they put a line of foam that looks like you'd pack your routers from Newegg in, like goes around the outer perimeter to make it somewhat rigid, and then they just put 2 layers of like fucking Coleman like camping foam on top of it and zip the whole thing together and inflate it. And I'm like, are you shitting me?
Yeah, it's quite overpriced for what it is, but like I said, we didn't go to the top tier. I think ours was like $2,800, I think. And it's funny, for a Cal King, you could spend that much on just an inner spring mattress. Now we're talking about mattress talk here.
Yeah,
but you got a bad back like me. You got a bad back like me, or even Jerry. You pay attention to these things.
This is true.
So yeah, no, I'm happy with ours though because it doesn't move, it doesn't change settings, it stays wherever we put it, and my sleep did improve because I had a 12-inch high-density memory foam mattress prior to that. But the people don't understand the memory foam cells do break down over time, and then you get the sag.
Yeah. And they get hot, too. That's the other thing is even the memory foams that have, like, the cooling layers and stuff on them, I still sweat really bad.
I don't think that's the mattress's fault.
Shut up.
No, I'm serious. Because I'm being serious because I
don't sweat with the new one. I don't sweat on the Sleep Number.
The Sleep Number has active cooling built into it, too, though. The memory foam mattresses breathe pretty well. I mean, we have, pretty hot summers here in SoCal.
Yeah.
And I'm also a hot sleeper, but I didn't really feel like the memory foam mattresses held heat or anything like that. But
the one that we had was a $3,000 one from Costco, and it was thick. It was 18 inches thick, which we couldn't even hardly find sheets that would go down to the bottom of it. and it had 7 layers in it, and one of them was supposed to be like a cooling layer. It was like this blue foam cooling layer. And I always overheated on that thing. Like I never like would wake up in the morning and not. And then the problem is when you get hot with memory foam, the viscosity of it changes based on temperature.
Oh.
So you'll lay on it and it's like really, really stiff. And then as the night goes on, when you get hotter and hotter and hotter, you start to sink into it. At least mine, I did. Sounds like you had a better one than I did.
He broke your vibe with his sweat, Jay? No, that wasn't me. That was his other friend.
No. That was Jesse. That was Tribal Instincts.
Yeah. Oh, that was
But
that was the friend you called during our drunk stream at my house, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, I destroyed his headset.
Jay's
and
a hot
that's a true story.
Jay's a hot sleeper. You heard it here, folks. Or you heard it here first. Yeah. My phone is
No, I'm a
waterproof.
hot sleeper.
My
Jay
ph-
isn't the hot sleeper.
My phone is waterproof. Watching TikTok in the shower. Best day ever.
Do you ever
Hey,
take your iPhone in the shower? Because I do.
You missed a spot. You think you got to lift the balls. You got to clean between the balls and the butt.
Hey, Jay, have you ever taken your cell phone in the shower with you?
No, because unlike the SSAAD is protesting, I'm not addicted to my phone.
I actually do. I'd say 1 out of 3 showers I take, I usually have my cell phone with me because I just set it on we have a little rack that holds like the shampoos and stuff. And I just set it on the little rack on there and I can play, music or porn or music or whatever. Works pretty good.
I can go 15 minutes without my phone.
I can go an entire day without my phone if I forget to charge the battery and I'm too lazy to go get the charging cable.
Wait, hold on. Did you hear the creepy laughter from Alexa was going off for no particular reason? Skynet is rising. I saw it in trending news on Twitter. Alexas were just randomly laughing?
That's weird. That would freak me the fuck out.
Yeah, if you're sitting there in your living room just chilling watching TV and then suddenly Alexa just starts laughing.
Yeah. Have you ever had Alexa scare you too, where it accidentally triggers when you don't say anything even remotely close to the word Alexa?
I don't have an
and
Alexa.
It just starts. Oh, you don't? Okay.
No.
Well, we have 3 of them. And every once in a while, you'll just be downstairs and you'll just be watching TV and something on the TV. It won't even say anything close to Alexa. It'll be like, how about that Mariners game last night? And Alexa will be like, I don't know Mariners game. And it just fucking freaks you out because you hear the sound coming from the living room and you're like, oh, God, is somebody in the house?
Jeez.
I hate it.
See, and that's why I'm pretty fine with not having any of these, smart home, what do they call them? Home pods, home assistants, whatever they call them.
Yeah, they did home assistants or something. Yeah, voice assistants.
Yeah, don't take the tag off. What's he talking about?
Xander loves his though. He runs through the house all day asking it for farts and to play music and stuff. It's like and he'll even one of the cool things about it is like he has one in his room, the little one, the little tiny pods.
Jay,
he just said,
stop saying Alexa. Everyone's telling us to stop saying Alexa. Apparently, we're triggering their Alexas.
Oh no, here, be quiet for a second. Watch this. I do this on morning coffee all the time. Alexa, order KY lube. That actually does work, and add it to the shopping bin. I've tested it.
Oh my god.
So now it'll be in the shopping cart if I don't know about 4,000 people.
Alexa, order condoms.
Alexa, order a 14-inch black dildo.
I
also checked.
Stop
That's also
saying Alexa. How about you guys stop turning on your Alexa?
What's the Google one? I forget the command.
Hey Google?
Okay, Google. Is it Hey Google or Okay Google?
I think it's Hey Google. Or Okay Google. I don't know.
Hey Google, search porn.
Oh my god. I don't know. Does that work?
Hey Siri, find porn.
Ay.
There we go. Chat's blowing up, so I'm guessing we're making some ground here.
I don't know. They could just be. I don't know how many people actually have Alexa going right now next to them. I don't know.
You'd be surprised. I wasn't even thinking one morning when I was on. I was showing people talking to my Alexa, and it was setting off everybody else's. And they were just. I mean, chat was scrolling like crazy. Like a lot of people have these devices.
I've heard people putting it in their YouTube videos where they'll just randomly be like, "Hey Alexa," or Alexa,
Yep.
Alexa, tell a joke.
So that's actually a working command.
So do you think Alexas right now are telling jokes across the world?
Tons of them. Guys, if your Alexa told a joke, type it in chat so we know what the joke is. Because I've heard them all. I've heard like every joke that thing tells. I'll know. my Google's home said, my apologies. I don't understand. You can also, did you see the Simon Says feature? So you say, Alexa, Simon says Barnacles is the best YouTube channel ever and Jay is a dickhole.
I think the dickhole part's going to probably make it not understand.
Probably.
Alexa.
I do it all the time. Oh, go ahead.
Alexa, play heavy metal. I'm glad we don't have one now.
Or for like people that are going to sleep here in a couple hours, be like, Alexa, set alarm for 6 hours.
Alexa, set an alarm for 2 hours.
Alexa, set an alarm for 1 hour.
Alexa. That's it, just Alexa.
Alexa, set alarm for 1 minute.
My Echo Dot is going nuts. About 4,000 Alexas. Set alarm for 4 minutes. Is that what you said?
Yeah, no, I said for 1 minute.
Oh.
So it just goes off here in a minute.
And this
Alexa,
guy's...
ask for a fart.
I like how you're waiting for a response, Jerry.
I'm sorry. I know. No, I'm pausing. I'm pausing so that it doesn't hear something and think we keep talking.
I see.
Alexa, volume 11. Or no, sorry. Alexa, volume 10. There we go. Now everybody's volume's cranked to the max.
Alexa, play jazz. Alexa, call the police. Is that a thing?
You probably shouldn't have read that one.
Oh, is that a real thing?
I don't think so, but I wouldn't want it to be.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. How many people you think unplugged their Amazon Echoes?
You see, the smart people just unplug it. The not so smart people are the ones crying for us to stop. Unless it's in some place where they can't easily turn it off. Can't they just say, Alexa, turn off or something like that?
No, you can say, Alexa, stop listening. There you go. You're welcome. That'll mute her until you go and push. You have to physically push a button now on it to wake it
Yeah, but
back
now you
up.
made everyone have to get up. Which is worse? The Alexa talking or now they have to get out of their chair?
Well, judging by the mean weight of our audience being roughly 417 pounds, probably not a good idea.
The mean weight? Oh my goodness.
I'm bad.
My Echo isn't called Alexa. Oh, you can change the name, huh?
Oh shit! What are the two other names? Hold on, I gotta remember. Amazon, order 14-inch dildo. What's the other one? Computer, order 14-inch dildo.
Is that
I think those are the other two names it goes by.
Oh, I don't know.
Because you have to pick a name from the list. You can't just have it be anything. At least back last time I did the firmware. You can
Looking
only
up
do
Alexa alternate names.
Yep.
Okay. You can call it Echo. Let's see. How to change Alexa's name. All right, here we go. We're going to do this before we leave here. Oh, crap. That's playing music. I don't want that. There we go. Where does it say the names, though? Device name, Echo? Doesn't say what the names are. Anyway, that wasn't an easy search. How to change Echo's wake word?
Yeah, what is that? There's only a couple that you can name it to, I thought.
I'm looking here. Oh, you can change...
Oh, wait, if they have it linked to their phone, you could do this, too. You can say, Alexa.
Oh, the three names are Alexa, Amazon, and Echo.
Yeah, so those were the... Oh, and I said computer. Yeah, it's Echo.
Yeah. So
you can do one with Echo.
I put Alexa into my sex doll so that she's more interactive.
You can do this. You can say, okay, Google, send SMS to wife. This is Barnacles. I have his phone.
Oh, my God.
Please tell me if that worked.
Okay, Google, send text to wife. I'm cheating on you.
Just do that.
I don't think that actually worked. I don't think...
No, it's not, dude. I'm looking at the Googles.
Brian just ran up here with a very displeased look on his face. He literally ran up the stairs.
Oh my God! I'm looking at Google right now, and that is an accepted command.
You're saying clear? You're saying nearby now? Are you babysitting me?
Oh my God!
Did
that actually work?
I don't know. Brian doesn't look happy though. I didn't actually cheat on my wife. I'm trying to get them to say they did. Okay, just checking. Didn't work. A lot of people were saying no. Sorry, I can't send text yet. Is what one said. Sorry, I can't send text.
Because you probably have to have it set up for SMS on whatever device it is.
I guess.
Oh my God, that's funny though.
They were talking about Alexa, and this dude asks about petabit internet. That's funny. Yeah, the people. Well, you understand too. Not everyone is watching the show in live. They can come in later and start from the beginning, so they may not be watching what we're actually watching, but they're chatting, thinking that we're still at the part they're watching. If that makes sense.
And the best part is now everybody's gonna watch this afterwards, the recorded show, and it's gonna be setting off all their shit for like weeks to come. It's gonna be great.
Cortana.
Mm-hmm.
We can do Cortana commands.
Wait, can you get it to do? Here, let's try this. Okay, Google, tweet JayzTwoCents. It works.
I don't think it'll know JayzTwoCents. Like I don't think it'll know. I don't think
Oh,
it'll.
I
Know,
see what you're saying.
I don't think it'll know the Z. Does that make sense?
Well, it gets barnacles. Every time I say it actually says barnacles, not barnacles, when I tell it. So
Really?
it figured it out somehow.
Yeah, but now everyone's just gonna tweet me saying it worked, pretending like it worked.
That's true. That's true. There's no way to like know if it actually worked or not.
Yeah.
Darn. Well, that was fun. Kinda. Not really.
There was this. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about all the Alexa talk we were doing until suddenly everyone's like, "Stop saying Alexa! Stop it!"
Hey, you know what? We completely missed the topic.
Oh, yeah, you had another one.
That was actually kind of the important topic. Well, we'll blaze through it because everybody will probably be happy about it. Well, at least if you live in Washington. So Washington, our governor, Jay Inslee, just signed a bill to enact net neutrality in Washington state. So they're bypassing the federal block, and they're passing it as a state law that basically a verbatim copy of net neutrality rules that say that no telecommunication service can charge more or limit access to content freely available on the internet. So that's awesome. Although the thing that I heard that's not so awesome is I can't remember which state it is, but one of the states is actually trying to pass a law that complements the removal of net neutrality, saying that if you want access to potentially offensive or erotic content, you have to pay an extra $20 a month.
So, which is exactly what everyone's fear was.
Yep, and guess who's enacting it? It's actually the it's the state's government. So where everybody was like, "Oh yeah, no, we don't want government to have control over our internet." You dipshits, by getting rid of net neutrality, you basically untied the government's hand to do whatever they want with the internet.
See, there's tweets coming in saying it works, but I can tell they're fake because they all are different. Like the capitalization is not the same on any of them.
God, the things people do for attention, man.
I know, right?
Just they want that JayzTwoCents attention, man. They just don't want it.
Kentucky. Yeah, I see the tweets, but I'm not acknowledging it. So Senpai has not noticed.
Yep, you guys should have
Senpai has not acknowledged. I noticed, but I didn't acknowledge. That's it.
Yep. Alexa, add condoms to shopping cart.
Now people are saying it doesn't work. Whatever. Jerry.
Oh, it's Rhode Island. Thank you, Rusty. It was actually, yeah. Rhode Island was the one saying that they're gonna pass a law saying that basically to raise tax money or whatever, it's gonna be a $20 additional charge for ISPs to allow you to access potentially offensive content or nudity, basically. So porn.
Yeah.
So Rhode Island, you guys are lucky, aren't you?
Government should control internet.
Yeah. Well, the good news is a VPN will work around that, guys. So if you guys happen to live in Rhode Island, do not pander, do not pay the $20. Just go use either a free VPN service or use something like Astral or what's the other one? God.
Well, there's Astral, there's NordVPN, which is a good one.
Yeah.
There is also
it's like free internet not free internet access.
Ghost VPN.
I've heard of that one.
I don't think Ghost.
There's quite a few of them. Just do a search for VPNs. Look at the ratings for them. The bigger VPNs tend to have a lot more servers available to them, so you can switch IPs and be in any country. Like if you ever run into content where it's like you cannot watch this content from your country, you can literally go into the VPN and just change it to the country origin for that site, refresh it, and then you have access to it.
The Neuromancer says it's a one-time fee. Who cares? It's still extortion. Is that the right word? Extortion?
Yeah, no, extortion. That'd be extortion. If they're forcing you to pay for something that you'd normally get for free, yeah, that's totally extortion.
Anyway,
so
Tunnel Bear.
I've heard of private internet access. That was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. I tried private internet access. It wasn't as fast as Astral though.
No, way slower. But they had a lot of servers.
And
they had
NordVPN is one I've been using too. That's really fast.
Yeah,
so, and I know I've obviously
really handy.
I've obviously done ads on NordVPN, but that's because I actually use it and like it. So
yeah. Oh, another thing is too. Did you ever use the Usenet, Jay?
I've never used Usenet.
So Usenet, or otherwise known as the NNTP protocol, is basically like the old, way before the web. Like way back in the days, it was the way that people basically had a forum to post text, and then people figured out how to post binaries by encoding binaries into text and then posting them as multi-part posts and stuff like that. Well, Usenet is still alive and well. A lot of people don't realize it. I use one called it's Easy News. I think it's called easynews.com. The cool thing about them is their base plan's $9 a month, which gives you full access to Usenet and every article posted over like the last 10 years. But it also gives you free access to their VPNs, and their VPNs tend to get around a lot of the stuff. Like Netflix doesn't think that their VPNs, at least some of their VPNs, Netflix doesn't realize it's a VPN, so you can do Netflix through it, which a lot of VPNs you can't. And it's just because their VPNs aren't heavily used.
Nick, are you listening to music?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because everyone's noticing you dance.
Oh.
Just wondered. He was all bobbing his head around. I don't know if he was trapped in his thoughts or if he was listening to music. He has
So by
headphones,
the way,
so I can't tell.
that's not sponsored, guys, but easynews.com. If you've ever wondered what Usenet is, it's pretty cool. And you get a VPN for free, basically. They just give you a VPN with it that you can use that's like in multiple countries and everything like that. Yeah.
Well, alrighty then. Well, since we started 2 minutes early, I'm gonna edit 2 minutes early. What do you think of that?
Yeah, and then we can go and stuff our fat faces and get all fat again. Well, I'm already fat, but you can get fat again.
I can get fatter.
Just get fatter.
All right,
I'm as fat as me, just fatter.
I'm gonna roll the outro now. Are you ready? You got your button pushed?
Hold on. All right, I'm good.
Okay, it's rolling.
Thank you for watching Tech Talk 156. Apple devices are causing addiction, and Apple thinks you're a dick and a shin, apparently. And we hope that we added lots of unsavory items to your shopping cart on Amazon and Google and all that shit. So you have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next week, provided that Jay isn't like hanging out with Beyonce or something.
Alexa, order condoms.